My name is Mark and I'm streaming chess again because I am successfully reached 500 elo in the last time, but now it's the thing that I make a stream where I wanted to reach 600 elo, but I didn't succeed. So now I will try to get back to 500 elo and after that move forward for 600 elo. But yeah, I'm not gonna take my words further. I'm just gonna go into a game and try to reach 500 elo again. I will need 3 wins to reach 500 elo again. I will move out my knight because I don't have a specific opening in my mind. Uh, I will keep pushing my knight somewhere else, and after that I thought maybe he's taking out his pawn there. I will just move my knight there, rotating a little bit because I will start to take out my pawn there to have some open field for my queen and my bishop. He took out his queen right there, and now I can move my knight there, and that will give his queen thing to do something because it will be pinged. And if he's moving his queen right there to maybe take out my knight, and if he's not aware of it, I can take with my queen, so that's a plan for me. But I didn't look for his rook, so I just sacrificed my knight for nothing. Anyways, that can happen. But he didn't really see he can tuck with his rook, or he saw it, he can tuck with his rook, and I could take with my queen. But now he moves his queen here to give a double secured position for a that position. So he would have been take with his rook. After that I can take with my queen, but in response he could take my queen for nothing. So that wouldn't be a pretty good idea for me. Now I need to be careful because he can take my pawn with his pawn, and if in response I take it with my queen, that would mean I can still lose my queen because of his queen. But now if I move forward my pawn, that would mean my pawn will be secured anyways if he's taking with his pawn, but if he's moving forward with the square, that would have been a different thing for me. So that was a thing that happened, but my knight is still defended here, so I can calculate with it to do anything that I want to. And now my queen is in danger because of the bishop, but I can trade his bishop for my bishop if I just move it here. So I'm gonna take that move. So if he's taking my knight with his bishop, I can take his bishop. But after that I need to be careful, because if now I exchange my bishop for his bishop, and he's moving his queen right there, I can take his queen in an exchange. But maybe I can work up something else that will be a better thing for me. I can move my other knight there, and after that I can move it here to give his queen a ping. I will wait for his move. And now he took my rook, he took my knight, and I can take his bishop. Currently he's leading with a knight, so I need to be aware of I need to be aware of that situation that is leading. And now I can only secure these positions because my pawn is currently stuck there. And if I move my pawn there, that would mean he can take it, and I can calculate with the other pawn to take that exchange. Maybe I can move my rook there if I move somewhere else my king. But maybe I'm just gonna go to here, or I can take my white bishop right there, but that wouldn't be such a good idea by me, because he could have been taken with his rook and again his queen. So that's not really a lucky position for me, so I will need to move my pawn for first to block his pawn to don't give me a check if I move my king here. And I will not move my king here, because if he's moving forward his queen by 1 square, he can give me a check and I will lose a turn. And if he's moving his queen there, he can take my bishop, but if my king will be here, I can secure my bishop. So I'm just gonna wait for his move. So after that I can move my king. I will move my bishop to make his queen move somewhere else. Oh, visibility setup. You mean to resolution? It's problematic, or to scale of the stream, because I scaled it for phone lives. Because if someone is scrolling YouTube Shorts, there are more chance that I will get more views, you know, and I'm trying to reach that. You meaning for to style? Oh, to style. Okay, okay. I thought streaming is a little bit problematic, but oh, that's perfectly normal chessboard styles. That's the perfect one because the best is using that, as I know. I think you should change your board style to this because you can see everything. That's the best one. You still playing chess, Sechuani? Were you playing something else or just listening to music? I shouldn't announce your name, Sechuani, because I thought that's how I need to say it. And now the black pieces take their time to make the move. I don't know what is taking so long. Okay, I'm waiting how I should say your name, because my whole life was a lie, because I thought I need to say your name like this. So I'm still waiting for his move. Maybe it's F-King or something else, because I don't really think so that I put him in a real difficulty. He finally made his move. Now I need to a little bit rethink it, because he maybe saw the rock situation, or I don't know. The best would be if I could move my bishop there to give him a ping, but maybe I can work up something that maybe if I move my white bishop there, he will be forced to move his king or defend it with his queen, but I don't really think so. He will move his queen right there, because that would mean I can take his queen for nothing. So if I move my bishop here, most likely he will stay there. He will not take it with his queen because I'm securing with my queen. So I just Or he can move his pawn forward with a square and defending that position, so I will not move my bishop right there in this square. Others pronounce it Setukai, but it's just a random generated text. Oh. But I should say Setukai, or if it's a random text, I don't know how I should say it. Yeah. To AI taking over the word with random generated text. Yeah, an AI. He resigned. I don't know why, but that's a good thing for me because I'm more forward for 500 elo. I did make a blunder. I will not check it out because I don't have a chess premium at the moment, and I can actually see my reviews statistics. Shetu. Okay, I will say as Shetu. So I'm gonna start a new game. That was a little bit strange, this game, but anyways, I'm gonna move forward my pawn to have more open field for my queen and my bishop. He moved forward his pawn from forward of his queen, but now maybe I will move forward my knight. And now his pawn is secured by 2 pieces with his queen and his knight. So maybe I'm gonna just move forward my pawn to after move out my bishop to have more open field towards these squares. And now if I take this, he's still defending it with his knight and with his queen. But for now I think I'm just gonna move my bishop right there to have that open field that I said before. But I'm gonna say your name as Setukai because it's hard to remember and I love the challenges. Setukai. So if I move my knight there, it's in danger because of his knight, and I could defend it with my pawn that square, but then to respond he would take with his pawn that knight. I can take with my pawn that pawn, but in response he would take my pawn, so that would be a trade, and the dangerous situation would still standing that my knight is in danger. But if I move my pawn there, he taking respond. I can move my knight there, and after that I will have open field for his pawn and respond, and I can take it. It's a thing that he's securing with his queen. And now I need to rethink it a little bit, because if I move my knight now, my bishop will be totally opened, and that's not a good thing, so I will just move my queen right there to secure these positions. And after that I can move my knight somewhere else to have an open field forward his queen. So I'm just gonna wait for his turn. That's a little bit strange that I'm at 489 elo and he's in 510. That's 21 elo difference. I don't know if it's too big, but if I move my knight there, I can secure these positions. And of course these are 2. But if I move it, my knight, he will be forced to move his queen somewhere else. Because these squares will be danger for him, and even this too. And this too. And this too. So I need to calculate my things to somehow take these possibilities. Maybe if I move my... maybe I can trade his knight, because if I move it... he can take my knight there, I think, at the moment. But... thinking what should be the best thing to do, but for now I'm just gonna... Oh, and these squares are danger for him too because of my bishop. So I'm just calculating a little bit that these are the squares that is dangerous for his queen. But I cannot really take these positions, because if I move my knight there, it will mean he can take it for free. So I'm just gonna move my knight for at the moment for here. And gonna wait for his reaction, what he's do. Where he's moving his queen. So Satukai, you still playing chess, or are you just listening to music, or are you just seeing the best stream ever on the world? Tell me if you don't mind. Maybe I will move forward my pawn here, but he will be still forced to move somewhere else his queen. I can still calculate with it that these squares will be dangerous for him, or not at the moment, because my knight is there. Oh, you listening to me and chilling, that's the best thing. And you can listen to IKEA ad on my playlist, because currently I don't have a YouTube Premium, and that's a sad thing. But as I soon start to work again, I don't want to, I will buy YouTube Premium again, because that's a little bit frustrating that I get so many ads. So now he took back his queen right there. Maybe I will move forward my pawn with a square. But in response he can take with his knight, and after that with his queen, but that would be not really a profitable movement for him, because it would mean I lost 2 pawns, but I get a knight, so that's not a really good thing for him. But I need to calculate a little bit, because I can move my bishop here to ping his queen, but he could take with his pawn or take with his knight. But maybe if I move my pawn there, that's not good, because I need to take out this knight. So maybe for now I will just move out my pawn right there to move out my bishop, to have some open field towards his knight. And if I can take his knight, I can move forward my pawn, or not, because he moved his knight right there, and it would mean my queen would be pinged. And that's not really a good thing for me at the moment, but I can counter it if I move my bishop here, but that would mean he can take with his knight and with his queen. But I can still take his knight if he's moving it there, so that's not really a danger for me. And if he's moving his knight there, I can take with my bishop, so that's not a big thing. But maybe if I move my pawn there, he will take with his pawn. In response, I can take with my knight, and he cannot take with my knight with his queen, because my bishop is securing it. But he can still take with his knight. So maybe I am just gonna go with my bishop right there, but I'm not gonna do that, because if he's moving his knight there, it would mean he's putting danger on my rook, and I cannot defend it with my king, because he's securing that square with his queen. So I need to rethink it. I will move my knight there to secure these squares against his knight, and he cannot take my knight, because I'm securing with my king. So I'm gonna wait for his movement. I will need to be careful because while I'm streaming I talk a little bit too much and thinking too much, and I don't have too time to think through and speak through what I'm thinking. And again, I'm on at 3 minute 11 second, and that's a checkmate because I wasn't aware of his knight is there. He easily moved his queen here, give me a checkmate, so I'm back at the starting point. That I will need 3 more wins to reach 500 elo. I'm gonna try it again because why not? I have the time to reach 500 elo again, and after that I can go for 600 elo. That would be pretty nice if I would reach 550 tonight. He moved his knight there, did open with his pawn to make his bishop go right there, but I can still defend it with my bishop, so that's not problematic for now. But I will need to make up some movements, so I will move out my knight to secure the center of the board for now. And he again opened with that pawn to move out his bishop. Maybe I will just move out my other pawn to have an open field for my queen if I need to take some action in these black squares. And now I can defend 2 white squares with my bishop, but I need to be aware of it to don't move my queen there, because he's securing with his pawn and with his knight, so that's a little bit dangerous. He moved forward with his pawn. I don't know why he did that. It's a little bit strange, but anyways, maybe to don't move my knight there. That can be a logical move. So now I need to work up something in my mind, and I need to be aware of it to don't move my queen even there because his knight is securing it. I'm thinking about to move my pawn there to ping his knight, so he will be forced to move it somewhere else. He can move it here, but I can secure that position with my knight. He can move it here, but I secure it with my pawn. In here I securing it with my queen, and that's the only square that I cannot really defend at the moment. So for now I will move forward my pawn, and after that I can move my knight there. And now he can trade his knight for my knight, but if he is doing any other else movement or this, as I spoke, I saw this opportunity for him. That's not so lucky for me. So I'm not really planning to move my queen right there because his knight is securing it. I don't want to sacrifice my queen, and I don't really see any other options. Maybe I can move up my queen by a square, but it's still a little bit risky, so I will just take my pawn there to block his way through forward my queen. So yeah, give me a second, I need to drink a little bit. Okay, I'm back. Now he take back his bishop right there to ping my knight, but I think I plan to trade my knight. So anyways, I'm gonna take out his knight, and he will be forced to take out with his pawn. Oh yeah. So for now, the knight is no longer there, so I should have been freed these squares, but now it's defending by a pawn, and by a bishop. Maybe I will move out my bishop to take a trade. So he will move my his bishop right there because he doesn't have any other options, and I can take it with my knight, and that's good for me because my knight is more in the center of the board and I'm securing more squares. Maybe for now I can take my knight there or there. Thinking through where I get the most advantage of the board. If I move it there, he can secure it with the pawn, so I will need to make another movement. But if I move it here, his king can take my knight. Except if I take my white bishop here. So in the next move, if I move my knight there and work it up, he will maybe move his pawn there. Now I get a check, and now my other knight is sacrificed because I cannot really defend it. That's a little bit bad for me. And he's in advantage of a little bit of the pieces. So yeah, I cannot really do anything else. He took my rook, my knight. So I will just move out my king of the way. Maybe move it right there. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Now I will be forced to trade for his bishop. And after that I will be forced to move my knight. Or I can wait and make... Jesus. I didn't want to make this move. But that's not really a bad thing because if he takes my bishop, I can take it back with my king. Maybe I will take this pawn. Maybe in response he will take this, or not. I thought he will move there to give me a check. I don't know. Why did I think that? But now if I move out my rook, he will be forced to move his queen there or move his king here. But if I move my queen right there, and if I can move up my pawn by a square, and I can move my queen there, I can secure these white squares. I move my king here because he can move his rook there to give a full check here. And now I will just move my pawn there. In the next moves I need to be careful that I need to move my king somewhere else to have that opening for my queen. If I take back my king here, he will again move here and give me a check again, and I will be forced to move it into these squares or this square, but in response he can take out his rook there. So I'm gonna try to move my king right there because if into next round I take my king here, he can take out his pawn right there, or move his queen right there, and maybe I'm not gonna speak through because I don't have much time left. But for now, he moved his rook, of course, and now he can move into the square. So I'm not gonna play more. I'm just gonna play it through. Maybe if into last round I would. Yeah, here I should have. No, I'm not gonna speak it through because I don't have much time left. I'm trying to make the most of the possibilities out of it. So now, if I can move my queen somewhere here and move it here, that would be a checkmate. Or not, because he can move it there. Yeah. If I move one of my rooks here, that would be a check, and I could have been take his. Anyways, I'm gonna take his queen because I don't have much time left, and he's really putting pressure on me by his queen. So I need to work up something with my two of my rooks. And that would have been good that I can move my rook here, give him a check. He will move his king. And after, anyways, I could have been work up some checks, but that's not how the plan goes for now. But I can move my rook here, and after that take that pawn, give him a check, except if he's moving his king right there. Maybe take the pawns here and work up my pawn for a queen. That's a possibility. I need to be aware of it, that he is moving his knight. Maybe he want to secure it with his knight. And now he's securing with his knight these squares. I'm a little bit in trouble what to do. Maybe to move up my king here, securing these positions, but there are pawn that's securing the center of the position, so I can actually take my rook there. Now he moved his rook and this pawn is in danger. But if I move my rook here, I can trade the rook. That's the thing, that I don't have much time left, and yeah. Yeah, anyways, I'm gonna trade that rook because I don't have much time left. That will be a speedy race. Maybe he planned to move his rook there, but his knight is blocking the way. And I lost through a timeout. So I'm a little bit in a problem, because at the beginning I should have been collect 3 wins, but now I need 4 wins to reach 500 elo. That's sad, but anyways, I will open up with my pawn to have some open fields for my queen and my bishop. And now if he doesn't move out his knight there or his pawn there, I will have a free pawn, or that pawn. Yeah, of course. but I can take out my knight there, and now my queen is in little bit danger, and I almost moved my queen there, but that would mean that I lost my queen for nothing and almost there. This is the only square where my queen is protected, or not protected, not in danger, more likely. So if he's moving his pawn there, he pinging my knight, and I cannot really take with my queen because he's securing with his knight. So I will be forced to move my knight somewhere else. If I move my knight there, that's a good thing, because if somehow I can work up my queen back there, that will be a checkmate. But of course I need to wait for his move. And now I cannot move my knight there, because that's secured by that pawn. So maybe I will move my pawn there, because if in response he takes with his pawn, or not, this square is meaning a danger for me. This square is a danger, this is a danger, so I will just move it there. I need to be careful, because I don't have much breathing space with my queen, so I need to be aware of it. If he's moving his knight there, I cannot take it. I miscalculated because I thought my knight is securing that position, but that was a little bit of problematic calculation. And now I lost my queen for nothing. Yeah, that's sad. I want to calculate where it's the best to lose my queen. But maybe if I leave it there, he will take with his knight, and in response I can take with one of my pawns. I can take my knight there for now, but he would take with his pawn. I will take out my pawn there. Now he will take my queen. I can take it with my pawn. But now if I can clear these squares, I can move my knight there to pinging this square. That's true, that will not end up as a checkmate. But yeah, for now I will move my rook there, because that will be meaning of more squares for me. And now I will be forced to move my rook, because his bishop is defending that square, and he will most likely trade his rook for his bishop for my rook, because I'm defending with my rook. With my knight I cannot really speak. That's unfortunate for me. I can move my rook there, or even back. Or I can move it there, and I think I'm gonna move it there. Because if he takes my pawn, I will ping totally his bishop here, because he cannot really move it, because that would be a checkmate and an illegal move. So I'm gonna wait for his respond. And that square is still not clear, so I cannot move my knight there to secure that square. But if he is not doing any drastic, I will take his pawn with my pawn to clear of the center. Maybe I will move my bishop right there, because if I clear this square, I can move my knight there. He will most likely take the pawn, but anyways, that's not really valuable for me at the moment. But yeah, I'm gonna take my knight there. Or not, because if he's moving his pawn there, he would put danger on my knight and on my rook, so I will just take that pawn with my pawn. And if I can move it there, in the next round I will move my bishop right there. And I can take a rook, or yeah, I need to recalculate it, because he moved his rook there and my pawn is still there. If I move my pawn there, he can take with his queen, or yeah, only his queen, but his queen will be there, so I will need to move out my pawn to take out my bishop, even if he's moving his pawn there. I will need to take with my knight. And after that I will move my bishop right there. He take out his white bishop, and now my rook is a little bit on danger, but I can only take my rook there, but that would mean that I lose the control of this bishop. And if I move it there, he can move his bishop right there, giving my rook a ping again. And after that he can move his bishop back right there to ping my rook, my knight, because it's securing my rook. So yeah, maybe I will just move out my rook there to put some danger on his queen. He will moving his queen there to make it secured. And after that maybe I will move my bishop right there to secure that position. But I can only give him a check by that if I move my bishop right there, because I will not move my knight there, even if it's secured, because I only securing these squares that matters. So maybe I will do it, I don't know. And I will still waiting for his move. He moved his black bishop right there. I can take with my rook, but I will not. But now his bishop will be locked here, because if he's moving his black bishop, I can take his queen, and most likely he doesn't want that. But if I move my white bishop there, into next round I can give him a check or move my king, my knight there. So he took out his pawn there, but if I take back with 2 square, I can still take this position, and that's good for me. Or I can move my knight there, and I can take his queen if he doesn't move. Anyways, I'm gonna just move my rook back by 2 square for now. He will maybe take my pawn there. Yeah, I fucked it up a little bit. Now he will take my knight. I fucked it up. Or not. If I move my bishop there, I can give him a check. In response, he will move it in these 2 squares. He can move his queen there to give me a checkmate. Except if I move my rook there. I fucked it up again. He will take my rook. If he doesn't take my rook, I still have the chance or not. But I will take his rook for revenge. And he took my knight. Oi, oi, oi. Anyways, I'm gonna resign this game because I totally fucked up this one. So I need to lock in because now I need almost 5 match of winning to reach 500 elo. I'm not gonna give up, I'm gonna succeed. He opened his pawn from forward of his queen. I'm gonna move forward my knight to take more control of the center. So yep, he moved forward his queen. That doesn't really matter for me at the moment because I will move forward my pawn there to move out my bishop, and after that even I move my knight, I will have more control of the center of the board. So yeah, I can take out my pawn there to move my knight there, and I can make an exchange for his knight. And now I need to be aware of it, that if I take with my pawn, he can take with his knight or even with his queen. So I'm just gonna move forward my pawn by square. It's true it's not defended, but I can defend it later. And now he will maybe go for my free pawn, I think. Yeah. And now he can go there. He can go there. He can go there. He can go there. But if I move this pawn, he can move there or not, because my knight is securing it. So he will be forced to move back. But I think I'm gonna take out this pawn because it's a little bit frustrating. And I will take out by this pawn. He can trade his queen, and of course he does. Because why should I play with my queen? And now I cannot move my knight because it's pinged by this bishop. But I can take a free pawn if it doesn't do that. But if I move up my knight, that's not possible to secure this position. I will trade one of my rooks because he's leading a little bit. So if I can secure this position and move up my rook, that will be a checkmate, but it's currently none of them is true. So I need to change that. So his white bishop is right there, blocking that way, and freeing his other rook. And need more space to do that too. And I can only work up my bishop in this way because his knight is a little bit dangerous. Maybe I will move my other pawn into next round to have more breathing space at the back of the board. And I'm changing the music too. So now he moved his rook there. That's nothing for now. But yeah, as I spoke before, I will move forward my pawn by a square to make his knight go away. And after that, I could move my bishop there, but his other bishop is securing it. So for now, I will just move my knight there, maybe move it there. If I can calculate with my bishop then moving it somewhere else, I can take out my rook there. That position will be secured by the knight here. I can give him only a check. So yeah, if he is moving that pawn, that's good for me because I can move my knight there, giving him a check, and I could trade for his last rook. So that can be good for me. So I'm just waiting for his move. Of course he takes out the other pawn, to not be good for me, but I can give him a check as I see now, or he will be forced to trade his knight. But for now I will move my knight back there. In the next hand I will take my bishop right there, and I can calculate with his new king position. And he saw my pawn possibility, my bishop possibility. So I'm gonna move my pawn forward, maybe make an exchange. But I can scare his knight away. I can give him a check. And I cannot really find any good song for to stream. So if Satukai is here, and if he would comment some song, that would be pretty neat, if you ask me. But for now, he took back his knight, and these squares are defended. But if I move it there, I can defend the squares, and if I can work up my rook there, I can give him only a check, or he will give me a check by his rook, by his knight. So I can trade my knight, but I don't really want to. If I move it there, I can move it there, but not really, because I would take with my bishop. He can take it there, but I would take with my king even there. If he is taking it there, I cannot really do anything with it. He can take my knight, but I will take with my pawn. He can take it there, back there. I'm gonna move my king there. I'm searching for music to play to. So he took my knight as I calculated. I cannot really take his pawn right now because it's defended by the rook. So yeah. I'm waiting for his next move. He took out his pawn. Mm, maybe I will move up my pawn. Because if he's moving his pawn there and I take it with my pawn, he can take with his rook and he will have open field for here. Now he moved his knight back there and have opening for these squares that can matter. But none of them mean really anything. Or this one, because if I move there with my pawn, he will take with his pawn or with his queen, king, knight, and yeah, it's not good. But it's a little bit loud of the music. So I'm thinking a little bit of what to do. But I don't really know. Maybe I will just move my knight back there. Mhm. Now that's luckily for me because I can move out my white bishop. And if he's moving his knight, I can trade his bishop. I don't know if in today's stream I'm gonna reach 500 elo because I need 4 wins and I think maybe I'm gonna lose this one too. Maybe if I can work up my pawns, that would mean I get a win, but I'm not really sure about it. That will gonna happen. I can only play with the pawns and with the rooks. I think I'm gonna finish this game, and after that I will shut down the stream because I'm not really commenting right now. It's a little bit late for now. And I just lost elo points. Yeah. Good night, Satukai. Good night. I hoped I will reach 500 elo again tonight, but I just lost points because I didn't really pay any attention. I was a little bit clumsy, but shit can happen. So yeah, I'm just waiting for his move. Maybe I can work up my pawn there. And if I can do that, I can move up a little bit with my rook and exchange. Oh shit, that's my round. Oops daisy. So yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not really responsive right now. Just going for my other pawns, I guess. But if I can work up my pawn right there for a queen, it's not a lose. Maybe it's a win for me because I don't know why did I say that, but I can work up my other pawn too. And now it's my rook is secured. I maybe fucked it up now, but not sure. Now I can defend my pawn. Ay ay ay. I need to play with my king. Maybe I should have play before that happened. And I had timeout. Okay. That's a good lose, I guess. Well, anyways, if you watch the whole thing, that's a pretty good thing, or even if you watch this stream, I'm a little bit demotivated, clumsy, and tired, so I'm not really thinking it's the best time to stream. So I'm gonna say a good night for everyone. If you didn't subscribe it yet, and if you want to see uh, crazy man play chess and lose every time, then I think you should subscribe to watch these things that I do here. So anyways, good night guys, and see you I think maybe tomorrow or at the weekend. So yeah, goodbye.